It's getting colder here in the mountains. The woolly hat is on first thing in the morning. It's a little bit breezy, so I hope the volume's okay. The leaves are beginning to change colour and starting to fall. The nights are drawing in quite quickly, and I've seen lots of birds on the wires getting ready to fly away, so autumn is definitely here. Now, I've had a very, very busy summer, really busy summer, lots of visitors, people toing and froing. It's been great. But my house is looking a little bit dilapidated. I need to do some autumn cleaning. I've got a dog pulling on the end of a lead here. I need to do some autumn cleaning, and one of the things I want to do is wash and clean out my fridge, my freezer and my pantry cupboards. So I'm having a bit of a pantry challenge this week. I'm quite tired and I want to put off going shopping for another few days. So I've got about 4 days, and I started yesterday, and I thought I'd share with you some of the sort of mishmash meals I'm making with the last bits in the cupboard, and they really are the last bits too. So for the next sort of 4 days, there's 3 adults to feed, and I think the last day I might have 4 adults. Is that right? Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 3 days, and I did yesterday, so I'm doing 4 days with 3 adults, and then the last day with 4 adults before I managed to go for a shop. So I'm going to sort of clear out the cupboards and use every last scrap and everything, and then I can give them a good clean out, ready for the autumn winter sort of menu plans. So for breakfast this morning, I've got banana and ice cream. I've got some frozen bananas here from the freezer. I'm going to leave those while I walk the dog so they defrost a little bit, and then I'll put them in the blender. Probably put a bit of frozen fruit as well on the top of those and have it with sauce. So that'll be my breakfast. My husband's got cereal and my daughter's got toast. And then for my lunch, this is what I actually made last night. Using up some stuff in the cupboard. This was a vegetable, no it wasn't, it was a bean chilli. It was 2 tins of, I've got these tins of mixed beans in a chilli sauce. So I put 2 tins of those in there, a tin of chopped tomatoes, a tube of tomato puree and some chilli powder, and I simmered all that, and then I served it with rice, and my daughter and I had that. My husband doesn't like beans, he only likes baked beans, he doesn't like chilli beans. So he just had some rice with some curry sauce. This is what is left over from last night. I'm going to warm this through, put it in a flask, and I'm going to take that to work for my lunch. My husband has a tin of soup left for lunch, and my daughter, I think, is having a jacket potato. So tonight for tea, my daughter and I are having some chips, and I just cut them into round circles because it's more fun that way. So we're having some round chips, and then I'm having a veg burger, and she's having this pasty, which is like a vegan cheese and potato pasty, and I've got some tomatoes out the greenhouse and some cucumber. My husband's having some meat-free sausages, a jacket potato and some beans. And that's the end of today. This morning for breakfast, my husband's had his cereal, my daughter's having toast, I'm having a smoothie. I have some of this berry mix to use up in the freezer. So I've got this, I've got some bananas, I'm going to use a couple of these. This is my last milk, so I'm just going to put a little drop of milk in and some water and make myself a breakfast smoothie. I'm making a big pot of sweet potato soup for lunch. Oh, camera's getting a bit steamed up here. There we go. So as you can see in there, I've got sweet potatoes chopped up, a whole bag actually, a couple of carrots, a couple of onions, a couple of just ordinary potatoes, some stock cubes and some water, and I'm bubbling that up until it's soft, and then I'm going to blitz it with my blender to make a smooth soup. And this is the finished soup now, all nice and creamy, so we're going to have this for lunch, and there's actually enough for us to have this for lunch tomorrow as well. Tonight's meal, we're all eating at different times and having different things, because that's how it's worked out. My husband's having the last pasta sauce with pasta, my daughter's having a jacket potato with beans, and there's some cheese left in the fridge. And I'm having wraps with some lettuce, some tomatoes at the greenhouse, onion and some mayonnaise in for my meal. So that's tonight. So still on the pantry challenge this morning for breakfast. I'm having a smoothie with the last of the sorry looking bananas and some frozen fruit. Everyone else is having cereal or toast, and then for lunch we are having some more of the soup I made yesterday, as there was enough for 2 days. So that is breakfast and lunch for today. Tea tonight, and I've made a lentil cottage pie. I'm just popping this in the oven to brown. We're having it with the last of the frozen vegetables. My daughter doesn't like cottage pie, so she's got one of the Morrison's cheesy bake things in the oven, and I've saved her some mashed potato and veg, and I've got a bit of gravy left. The cupboards are nearly totally empty. Welcome to the last day of the pantry challenge. Hooray, I'm going shopping tomorrow. So for breakfast today for myself, I've got one lot of frozen bananas left, and there's just a couple of frozen strawberries in there. So I'm going to have some fruit. There is cereal and toast left for other people. Lunch is a real mishmash today. We've now got 4 adults and my other daughters come back. So lunch today, there is some leftover cottage pie. I think there's a pot noodle for my husband and toast. There's also beans, cheese and a jacket potato left, so people are going to have a combination of whatever's sort of left in the cupboards. Cheese on toast, beans on toast, so I think there's some jacket potatoes. There was some leftover cottage pie, so there's a few things going on for lunch. I'm actually doing an odd shift at work, so I'm taking a huge tin of pineapple chunks. This is a massive tin. I love tin fruit, so I'm going to take that with me, and possibly some bread and butter. So that'll be me for today, and I'll see what's going on this evening for our evening meal. Last meal of the pantry challenge. Thank goodness I'm going shopping tomorrow. We've got some salad, I've got tomatoes from the garden, we've got some lettuce and some onion there, I've got some homemade chips there. My daughter's having a burger, my other daughter's having a veggie burger, my husband's having sausages, I'm just having chips and salad, and I have got some peas in the microwave as well, and there is more chips cooking, and this is the last meal of the week because my cupboards are so empty. So after a week of doing the pantry challenge, I cannot believe how empty everything is. So this is my freezer. So in the top shelf, all we have is some ice cubes. These are the packs I use when I go grocery shopping to put in my freezer bag. And there is a little tub of dog ice cream left in there. Then in here, this is, it says in here for Christmas. Our local ice cream parlour does these cones that are vegan, and they're really good, but he shuts now at the end of the summer. So I've started buying a couple to put in the freezer for Christmas. So then in here we have 2 little jacket potatoes left and 1 grow burger, and that's it in there. In here got a couple of ice lollies left, although my daughter's just said she's going to eat that one now. She's got 1 gluten-free donut left, which again she said she's going to eat in a minute, and that's a couple of these ice lollies, and then that's it. Empty, and then at the bottom I've got my frozen gooseberries, so I've got a few of those. I never did get around to doing the black currants, I had too much going on, and then my hands played up with my arthritis, so I've got gooseberries. Right, and then in the fridge, I've got a little bit of water, I'll be filling that up now. Nothing. There is a scraping of butter left, scraping of this cheese in there. Then in here I've got a couple little dog treats in there. I've got a little bit of that cottage pie left, tiny bit of salad, and then in this drawer out of the garden I picked a load of broad beans. I'm going to use those in the next few days. I've got a couple of onions left, a big courgette out the garden as well to use up. I think I'm going to do some sort of roasted vegetables, and a lettuce. And then in the bottom drawer I've got, these are some windfall apples. I haven't got many apples this year at all. These have just blown down, they're quite small, but I'm not sure. I'm either going to stew those or make some sort of jam, possibly some blackberry jam. blackberry and apple jam, I don't know. So I've got those, 1 nectarine and 2 lemons. So that's about that. It's quite empty. I think there's a tiny bit of cheese left and a few bits of condiments left, and that's about it. So I'm in my larder now, and the light's not very good, but this is my pantry cupboard. So I've got a stand and stuff kit left. It's a few chocolates that my daughter gave to my husband in there. What's that? Oh, some bars of chocolate again. I was given to my husband. Some gravy, some pickling vinegar, some vegan Worcestershire sauce type thing, 2 things of rice, tiny bit of curry sauce, 1 tin of beans, bit of Marmite, and some honey somebody gave us recently, and that's that. And then in the cupboard below, I do have a few cooking things left there. I've got some flour, a little bit of custard powder, some rice pudding mix, some shredded coconut and brown sugar in there. So an icing sugar on my baking shelf. I've got 1 milk left, a little bit of pasta. Look at these empty shelves. And then down here we've got some gluten-free pasta at the back and gluten-free flour in the dark there, gluten-free stuffing mix, a little bit of rice, a tin of spaghetti hoops, very random. These are Christmas puddings I got for 10p from B&M in January, and they're actually still in date for Christmas, so I'm hoping to eat them this Christmas. And then a very empty shelf at the bottom.